Hello, Majorians, and welcome to our second episode. If you're watching this, you're a Majorian. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry. This is how we've decided to call our followers, our subscribers, our community, our ecosystem. You're a Majorian. Do you like it? I don't really care, but that's how we're going to call you from now on. In today's episode, we're going to talk very shortly a bit about what Majority's week was about. And in the end, we're going to go interview Yiftach, one of our co founders, one of our partners, one of the OG members. First person I recruited into this crazy project was Yiftach. So we're going to be hearing from him about his perspective on Majority, the ecosystem, what kind of people are we looking for. And he's also going to be expanding on the analogy of the terrarium because it's his analogy and I stole it for episode 1. So what were we up to this week? Let me do some recapitulation. We had Rosh Hashanah, which is New Year's in Israel, so it was a very slow time. So, Happy New Year's to everyone who celebrates Rosh Hashanah. So, it was a slow week. One of the things we've been doing in this specific week is to open the company's bank account. So, for anyone starting a company or that has started a company knows what a pain in the ass this can be, working with lawyers, working with banks. But we're getting there, we're learning, and we have a lot of help. So thank you to everyone that's been helping us do that. We had a meeting on Wednesday with a potential project that might join the ecosystem. The person from Chile who has already a great and very cool project called School of Makers in Chile. So go check it out. He teaches kind of non-formal education around 3D printing, around robotics to schools after school. And now, because of the whole AI revolution, he's looking to kind of build some kind of platform. I can't say much more because it's confidential, but it's a very cool project, very cool person, Martin Sanchez. So go check it out, School of Makers. So we had that meeting. And then on Thursday, we met with our team that we're building an internal project for Majority. We've called it the white paper. For anyone that is not familiar with what a white paper is usually in projects that are kind of visionary. They will usually have like a white paper, a pink paper, or some kind of manifesto in which the people that are the originary founders kind of lay out their vision for the project. It's almost like imagine that you're building a new planet or a new country and you want it's almost like the first constitution, the Bill of Rights. So we're trying to build this kind of like Bill of Rights for Majority where we talk about how we envision everything, basically, from how do we envision negotiations, how do we envision documenting the journey, and how do we envision rewarding contributors, and how do we envision people joining the ecosystem and people leaving the ecosystem, and how do we envision shared ownership and all this amazing cool stuff that we're doing in Majority. So more on the white paper soon. We're going to put some updates. We have a very cool project within the ecosystem that is called the Living Library. Basically, kind of like the word says, the living library of all the projects and tasks and members. When we say that Majority is an ecosystem, we don't want to just say it, we want to show it. So basically, the living library is kind of like the way that we want to show that we are an ecosystem and that we're not just a traditional company. We're not a startup. I told Martin on Wednesday that one of the best ways to understand Majority is that we're not trying to build a skyscraper. We're trying to build a village. We don't want to try to build a skyscraper that takes over the shadow and the view of everyone else. We want to build a proper village. And to build a village, it takes time. It can take more time than a skyscraper because it's not enough to just pour in resources and to just try to be the tallest. It takes time to bring people to know who you want to live in this village with. You know, that's one of the biggest things of Majority. Like I said in episode 1, not everyone is welcome, and not from a snob perspective, but because truly we're trying to build excellence. We're trying to build multidisciplinary projects. We're trying to build a collaborative ecosystem and spirit. So yeah, not everyone shares those values, but those who share it, I think they really resonate with Majority. And also, we're not trying to build this community into the thousands and tens of thousands, because truly this is kind of like building the skyscraper. We're trying to build this slow, and whoever resonates to come and to go through the process of what it means to join Majority, that it takes time, that you need to be part of a team. We don't accept individuals in an individual journey. It's always team based. So yeah, more on everything. Like I said, this is the beginning of the journey. More on this soon. But if you're following the journey, thank you. And today, Friday, we interviewed Yiftach, and now in a few minutes, we have a meeting with another amazing team from London called the Compost Collective. Group of 4 girls recently graduated. They're doing an amazing project. You can also check them out, the Compost Collective, on LinkedIn. They have a website. We're also exploring possibilities of collaboration and doing things together. So again, more on that next week. The idea is that I will be updating you week by week on what we're doing, what we're up to. Maybe if we find someone that can help me edit, we'll be able to improve the visuals and improve the B-roll. But as for now, it's me filming, me editing. So I guess it's what we have for now. It's just the beginning. So now Go with me. We're gonna interview Yiftach. Probably I'm gonna cut this scene and it's gonna go straight into Yiftach talking. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you and subscribe and go listen to Yiftach and what he has to say. Bye bye. Hello, hello. Okay, so we just recorded a full episode and the camera died, so we're going for a second take. This is the life of content creators. Welcome, Iftach, to the life of content creators. I've been in this world for a while, and this is your first rodeo. Although, for people that are good searchers on YouTube, will find videos of Iftach cooking without his face. Maybe we'll link it down below. So yeah, I think we will go at it again, and maybe once you already got out the jitters of doing it the first time, so maybe now it's gonna be a bit more easy to go for it. So let's do it. The first question that I asked you on the first take, and I want you to answer it again, and for sure the answer will be different. And if we get to recover the footage, we'll put both. Um, is what is majority? I know this time we'll do it more precise, concise, but try to answer what is majority and maybe include all the things that we talked throughout the first take.
When I think about majority, and intentionally, I'm talking in very high level. How I imagine it, I see it as a platform for to build our dreams inside. Um, we were for over 2 years thinking about how work and business and professional life should look like, and how different it should look like from what's happening today in the industry and also in academia, and how we can take the advantages from this both of those worlds from industry and academia, and to create a platform for people, from to inspiring people, to creative people, to professional people, to join together and collaborate together to build whatever is create meaning for them. It can be apps, it can be products, it can be courses, it can be tangible products. Um, but we truly want to create an ecosystem to leverage the people that work inside and collaborate with each other. I think this is on the tip of the iceberg.
I guess a topic that I mentioned briefly in the last episode, in the first one, it was about the analogy of majority as a terrarium. And like I said, you were the one that brought this idea. You were the one that showed me. So this is definitely like your analogy, and I want to give you the benefit of explaining it you well. And how does majority and what we're building, and right now we're in the very early stages, relate to a terrarium?
The terrarium is a metaphor for the ecosystem and how I imagine it. Terrarium takes time to build. It's not something that you can in one day make it perfect. It's a living ecosystem that should have a symbiosis between the plants, the living creatures. It can be the insects and maybe a lizard or the crabs and whatever you put inside. And it takes time, like in future. And future evolved through a long time, and after this long time, and time is the key here. You need to create a place or an ecosystem where every element is synchronized with all others, with the pace of the elements inside. Hello, girl. um, Being out there. Um, so we need to create a great sync between the elements inside the ecosystem, and this is what we're trying to build in Majority. We want to create a place for great collaboration between professional, creative, inspiring people. It can be developer and creators and architects and the business developers and artists, and even people with no specific role in like or professional career, but people who want and believe in collaboration and to work with others, and looking for it, not looking to be alone by themselves, but they believe and they can see the potential of collaborating with others with different skills, and they believe that this will also leverage their own skills.
I think if you ask me to give like the quick explanation of what is majority, I would tell you it's an ecosystem. So we already kind of went through this word. What is an ecosystem? Something that takes time. We also talked about it in the first episode. Now we're going deeper into the terrarium analogy. I think the next kind of words I would put in the definition is an ecosystem for multidisciplinary creative people. So maybe if you could go deeper into the that word, you know, the multidisciplinary. I think it's another big word that is used a lot. But again, I think in majority we're really trying to bring people, multidisciplinary people. So maybe if you could expand, I have my own perspective. What's your perspective on multidisciplinary? Maybe if your experience in the master's degree that we studied together opened your mind to what multidisciplinary people were, because I don't think it's a term that it's very understood. And until you experience working in a multidisciplinary team in a project that really like accepts and kind of like hosts multidisciplinarity, it's very hard to really experience. So if you could go a bit deeper into this part of the definition of majority. So it's an ecosystem for multidisciplinary people, kind of like to continue getting the definition.
Yeah. So I think it's I don't think it's so hard to explain. But it's like a company. Just imagine a company with only business developers, with no coders, with no UX UI researchers, with no C level or people know how to manage and to think about strategy. If you want to build a strong community or a company, you need people from with different aspects about how they see problems and what inspire them. Um, and I do want to create an ecosystem of people that brings their passion and their skills together, but they also interesting to know a bit from all the others. I do want people or creators that have some interest in maybe in coding or maybe in business development or maybe in 3D printing or in bio designing coral reefs and stuff. Um, and I think we're do looking for people who are have the crave to search and and they want to understand and research and to communicate with people from different backgrounds. Um, for me, this will create much better symbiosis than people that are only in their small cube doing what they're doing, like in any other company today, where when you code, you only code. You don't care about the someone who sits next to you. It's like in factories in the 200 years ago that like I need to screw my screw and that's alone. I don't care about the final product. I don't care about what's the man next to me needs to do. We're looking about it differently. As we talked about, it's an ecosystem. It's a terrarium. It's a symbiotic place for people who do what they're doing best, but they do have interest in all of the other elements inside the ecosystem.
Kind of finishing the conversation interview. Um, Talking again about a bit the terrarium analogy, where would you say, at what stage of the terrarium is majority today? And if someone looking at this wants to join, what would you say is the current
So I
opportunity?
think we were having some kind of parallel roots right now. Like we're building the terrarium itself, like the structure of what majority is. We're building a platform where our members can work in. We're building our business model, and we're building the ability for the members in majority to talk and experience and collaborate together. But also, we're starting to put the first element of the terrarium. And as I said before, it takes time, and it's okay. We don't plan it to be perfect, and it will continually evolve during and through time, which is okay, and it will change. But right now, we're looking for creative, passionate people um, who are curious about creating something from scratch, um, who who doesn't afraid to fail and looking at failure as an opportunity to learn and to I would say with a growth mindset. Um, and we can go in a different path. And 1 month from now, we can understand this path isn't right for us right now, and to move to a different one, and it's okay. And from what we learned, it's also valuable for the members itself, for majority, for the platform. So we're looking for, I would say, curious people who wants to get inspired by others and wants to collaborate. with people that um, bring different skills and different abilities. I would say high quality, like doing stuff that they love and do it high end. Um, Basically, I think once you bring those people inside into one place, time will bring the ecosystem and majority to whatever we want.
I think that's what we were discussing before we started filming. That one of the biggest challenges, but the beautiful thing about majority is that to allow the ecosystem itself to tell you what it needs, like a terrarium.
Yeah.
There's no point in adding predators that maybe will destroy the whole ecosystem unless maybe there's an excess of some organism and now you need a lizard that will eat them, but then the lizard will maybe take too much power, so then you need maybe a scorpion and things like this. And I think the allowing the ecosystem to tell us is something that I think we are only understanding now, 9 months later of doing it full time and 2.5 years later of starting. It's something we're understanding, and I think it's a challenge because hello, it's a challenge because you need to really be patient. You need to work extremely hard every day, but to not draw lines beyond maybe 1 or 2 weeks, especially in the era of AI, especially in the era where everything changes so much. But on the beauty side is that I talk to a lot of people building products, building startups, and they're so stressed and they're so nervous about like the competitors and someone building something faster than them, and maybe and with majority I feel the opposite. I feel so relaxed because we're investing in people, and people are for me
We can adapt, we can change, we can be very agile and very, uh, as I said, it's relaxed. It's much more organic. I would say company or
yeah.
business or ecosystem than any other startup.
And yeah, so now if you're in episode 2 or just starting, this probably will be amazing to see down the line how we evolved, how we improved. But if you're at the journey now, it's all about joining to co-create from the beginning, from the bottom, and having a say in basically how we're going to build this. So we hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, follow, and say in the comments if you want to see more of Iftach or less of Iftach. Uh, thank you.